I come to talk about crisis and opportunity, about rebuilding the nation, revitalizing our democracy, and winning the future for America.
President Biden telling Americans our best days are ahead during his first address to Congress. The president also laid out a sweeping and expensive agenda he says is needed to secure our economic future. Joining me now to discuss all that, what unfolded last night, is Abdul Hakim Shabazz, editor of Indy Politics. First off, good morning to you, Abdul.
Good morning, my friend. How are you guys doing this morning?
We are doing well. How do you think the president did first, and what do you think about his Americans Family and American Jobs Plan? The polling shows that most Americans actually liked what he said.
I thought the president did fine. Like I said, the president's a Democrat, so guess what? He's going to talk about Democratic things, so no one should be surprised. However, I did think it was interesting. He never really used the term spending. He used the term investment. Like, we need to make investments in infrastructure, investments in education, investments, in border security. He didn't say spending, because spending has sort of a negative connotation to it. But I thought it was interesting to use the term investment. He also talked about, like I said, rebuilding and revitalizing America, because we just went through the pandemic. We're still going through the pandemic. The fact that only 200 members of Congress were there, as we saw the big giant empty chamber that the president gave his address in. But overall, I thought the president did well. I thought Republicans, I thought Tim Scott eventually got his groove with that. He was a little discombobulated in the beginning, just kind of going from idea to idea. But at least now the markers are set for what will hopefully be a robust and thorough discussion so we can handle the issues in this country.
One thing that both sides seemed to like for the most part was talking about the ability to let Medicare negotiate drug prices, because, as the president said, we pay sometimes up to triple what other countries pay for the same drugs.
Yes, and I've never understood that. That happened back in the early 2000s when we were talking about healthcare reform for like the second or third time. And Congress passed a bill that said Medicare could not negotiate with drug companies, saying that the government has too much money, too much power, and could unnecessarily lower prices, I guess was the logic and rationale. But if insurance companies and hospitals can negotiate drug prices, I don't see why the federal government can't have that same power and ability either.
Now, one topic that the president does not poll well on week after week is the border crisis, the situation, but he did address that last night to an extent.
Yes, he said a couple things on the border. He talked about digital border security. He talked about the dreamers and getting them here. Talked about migrant workers. But you're right. He only talked about the immigration. He only mentioned like one or two times, and he didn't really mention the border at all. And when he did kind of talk about it, it wasn't with that normal energy and enthusiasm that he had with everyone else. I guess that's sort of an acknowledgement that, hey, the border crisis is a crisis that's going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with than they probably initially thought.
And what about voting rights and gun reform? I realize those are two different subjects, but wanted to hit you with both of them at once.
I don't see either bill getting out the Senate in its current form, because the votes just aren't there, particularly on the gun issue, because gun issue, even though we've had mass shootings in 3 in Indianapolis this year alone, gun rights is still a very contentious issue in the Capitol building. And as prospective voting rights goes, I don't see one Republican voting for it, because I think it's a federal takeover of state election system. Now, I do think there will be, maybe some tick around the edges on voter reform, but I don't see a whole lot happening there this year.
All right. Editor of Indy Politics, Abdul Hakim Shabazz, once again, thanks for being here this morning. We do appreciate it, and thanks for staying up and watching it.
Hey, always good to be here, sir.
All right, Jess, over to you.